Claire from Created the Otter Way. I'm an independent demonstrator here in the UK, and this is the video craft along that goes with the butterfly workshop. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're just going to play and craft together. What have I got? So I've got my dies for the Butterfly Brilliance set. This set that we're going to play with, it comes with dies, it comes with a huge stamp set that's lots of tiny butterflies, and you can also get some paper, although currently it is out of stock, so you're very lucky that we managed to sort the workshop out before it went out of stock. Now in my pack I've got 3 sheets of paper. Remember, Stampin' Up, it's double-sided, it's 6 by 6 sheets, and hopefully you like what you've got. My problem that I find with the designer series paper is I like both sides. It takes me more time deciding which side to actually use than it does what card shall I make, and I'm not even joking, it really does. I really like the butterflies on that side, but that's a really nice alternative. That one, I really like that effect. That's got beautiful butterflies on that side. This one's got a watercolour effect, the beautiful butterflies again, and then that side is really nice. So what are we going to do today? What else is in your pack? You should have 3 cards. We're going to make at least 3 cards. You'll have stuff left over that you can go on and make more. You haven't got any envelopes this time because I ran out of envelopes and they just didn't come in time, but I'm sure you'll forgive me. The envelopes are normal A6 size envelopes, so you'll be able to find some easily. I've also given you 2 pieces of white, basic white. I've given you some Misty Moonlight, Misty Moonlight. I've also given you some Magenta Madness card, and I've given you some Bermuda Bay. So, as you can see, loads of colours, really bright, vibrant colours, and it should go with any of the papers that you've got. You should also have, I don't know that I've got a lot in here, let's have a look. You should have, butterflies. So these were actually from one of the DSPs. Let me just show you. And literally I've just die cut them out. Now I've kept this. Yes, I am sad keeping it, but I thought it would make quite a good stencil. So we may or may not use that because I'm aware you won't have it. You've got 3 butterflies. They look really nice on the card. What else have you got? You should have some white die cut butterflies as well. So we'll have to have a chat about what we can do with them. And you should have lots of 5 different die cut pieces that you can use for your sentiments. Again, I've given you more than you need for the 3 cards, but this is really make it your own. Okay, so what else might you need? You're going to need some glue or some double-sided tape. You might also need the colours, some ink colours. So I've looked at the papers that I've got, and then I've chosen the inks that match. Now if you haven't got inks that exactly match, just get ones that are near, and we'll give those a go today as well. I've also got the Butterfly Brilliance stamps set that goes with it, but I'm thinking I probably won't use that, I'm not sure. So I've looked through my stash and I've got an old butterfly set. It's still current, but I haven't played with it for a while. So if you've got a stamp set that's got a butterfly or 2 on it or something similar, maybe grab that. And then just for something different, I thought I would give the Pretty Perennials a little try. That's got some nice sentiments, but it's got some lovely flowers. And I also chose just a stamp set that's got sentiments in that I really love, just because I thought I don't actually know what I'm going to do, but I want the stuff close at hand. So that's what I've got. I laid myself stuff out. I've got my inks handy, I've got my tools handy, and I've got my stamp sets handy. So what can we do? I really want to revisit with some of you. Some of you it will be new to you, and some of it you will have done similar before. I think there's an awful lot you can do with a 6x6 piece of paper. It's tiny, but you can definitely make free cards with it. So shall we do that? Then it means I only have to use one of my papers. So which paper should I use? I think I'm going to use this one, although that's really nice with the Bermuda Bay card. And just so is that. See what I mean? I think I'm definitely going to stick with this butterfly one. That's all the colours. I'm going to put my cards and my spare card out the way as well. Just put it to one side. And I'm going to concentrate on this. Now I'm going to cut this up so that I've got several different pieces that I want to use on the front of cards. Now this is called a one sheet wonder. You can get it for A4 pieces of card, you can get it for 12 by 12 card, and you can get it for 6x6. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. It means I don't have to overthink what I'm doing, and I can just enjoy playing. Sometimes it's what you need. You need to just sit down and just play and see what comes. So taking your 6x6 piece of paper, actually, shall I let you go and gather a few bits? If you want to grab a favourite stamp set of yours, either with some butterflies or some flowers, and maybe a stamp set with some sentiments that you like in it, and your Stampin' Up! Trimmer, and we'll get started. So here we go. I'm going to cut this up into different pieces, but I'll go really slowly so you can do the same with me. So it's 6x6, so the first thing I'm going to do is cut it in half. So I'm cutting it at 3 inches, okay, and that leaves me 2 pieces like that. I'm going to put one to the side, and I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to cut it at 3 inches again. And that's going to give me a nice 3 inch by 3 inch square. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to leave that as that size. So that's one that I'm going to use. So I'm going to put it to that side. Okay, the next one, I think I'm going to cut it in half again. So this is 3 by 3, but I'm going to cut it at 1.5. So now I should have 2 panels. Let's have a look at those. That are 1.5 by 3. And I'm going to keep those. Okay, I'm just going to put the light on because it feels like it's really dark. I'm not sure why. The only thing with putting the light on is you might get a reflection. Yeah, can you see that? I'm not sure if that's any better. Let's give it a go. So back to this paper. So we've got a piece now that's 3 inches by 6. So again, I'm going to turn it sideways. And this time I'm again going to cut it at 3 inches. So I get another 3 inch square. Okay, but this time I'm going to cut this so I've got 4 squares. So I'm cutting it at 1.5 inches. Okay, so I've got 2 that are 1.5 by 3. I'm going to turn them round and I'm going to cut them again at 1.5 inches. Now I'm going to do mine both together, but you really don't have to. So that will give me 4 squares that are 1.5 by 1.5. And actually it looks really nice with this butterfly paper because it sort of frames the butterflies. There's that one that hasn't quite got a big butterfly, but it's still got little. So that's going to go there. I'll go through them again in a minute. And then this one I'm going to cut again at 1.5. So I've got 2 panels that are 1.5 by 3. Now, if I move my camera out the way so you can see, let me put that back together. So that was my 3 inch by 3 inch square. And then this was 2 panels that are 1.5 by 3. I had another 2 panels that were 1.5 by 3, like that. And then I've got my 4 little squares that are 1.5 by 1.5. Ta-da! How do we turn those into free cards? Let's work with 3 of these panels to start with. So I'm going to put these to one side. Okay. Now I'm going to get my card over all my bits and pieces. It will be probably just slightly off screen for you. Just bring this card over. Now let's have a look at the panels. So I could put them like that. Now you don't have to match them up if you don't want to. Do I want to? Do you know what? No, I'm not going to deliberately, because otherwise, oh, do I? Oh, the quandary. So that would go, nope. See, I knew this would be an issue. Right, that one goes there, that one goes there, and then that one doesn't go there, it doesn't, but it does go there. There's no way I'm going to match those up, is there? It's from different pieces, but those 2 do match, so let's put that there. So bring my card back, my panels. Now, do I want my card portrait or landscape? I quite like it that way round, just to be different actually. So they're going to go on there, like so. Now remember that these strips are 1.5 by 3. It looks quite nice just if I just did it like that. And then if I added a sentiment on the top, maybe that one with that one layered. I could colour this one in a colour and that might make that one pop out a bit more. That's quite nice. I could add a butterfly or 2. Let's have a look. That's quite nice. Oh, that's quite nice actually. I might use that one. Do I think it's too plain on the background? It is rather plain. Maybe if I got one of my pieces of card, what about if I put one of those behind? So I'm just holding them because at the moment I'm just having a little play. I haven't cut it to size yet. Well, that's really nice with the blue. I think I'm quite happy with that. So I'm not so sure about this layering. What do you think? Maybe it needs a different sentiment. Let's move that over. Okay. No, that's a bit lost on there, isn't it? That one's really too tiny. And that one's too tiny. So I definitely think that's the right sentiment and layered. So that's my first card. I'll put it together in a moment. Let's get another card over. And let's see what we can do with some more pieces. So this time, shall we look at the 4 little squares together? Okay, so they would match, wouldn't they? If I could remember which way round they were. That's not it. And I've lost one. How can you lose one when it's right in front of you? No, it's there. Okay, so I don't know if I want to match them. But it's quite nice if it does matches. So can you see the bigger picture? It all goes together. So that's the way round that I want them. Now, the same as the other one, do I want a sentiment across the middle, or should I have a sentiment down here? Now I've got 3 left. Should I just have a sentiment down this bit like that? That doesn't look very prominent on there though, does it? What about that? Because that's sort of square. That's quite nice. I think I might use that sentiment. And the background. Should I put something on the background? This time maybe the turquoise. Yeah. Now don't worry, I'm going to go through the cards with you because I'm going to add a bit more to them. I'm just working out the colours and the placement at the moment. So that's my second one, I think. I'm bound to play with it a little bit more. And I haven't put a butterfly on that. Maybe that one's nice, or is it too big? Maybe one of these, maybe one of those. Yep, we're going to go with that. Now the third card. Okay, so I've got 1 piece left. I'm going to just layer it over the top of that. And what have we got on here? So this time we've got a square and a rectangle. I'm going to turn it sideways again. So, I'm not sure that's too much butterfly on butterfly, isn't it? What about on the other side? If I turned it over, not really liking that. Big butterfly, little sentiment. Still think it's quite harsh against the white. What about if we layered it behind some pink? Oh, that's very bright. Goes okay with that. I don't think it goes so well with that. I'm not sure. Maybe we won't use that. Don't know about the pink. I think it's because I'm not really a pink girl. I'm sort of a greeny blue, can you tell? So maybe if we put that like that. Oh, I really don't like that. Okay, what else have I got? What about if I do the Bermuda Bay? Will that look any better? No, it's definitely that pattern. I'm not sure. I think it's all right with the pink. The pink is the better one. Let's have a look again. I think we have to go with that. And then maybe this sentiment on there, although that's not great. Maybe that sentiment. And what about a big butterfly? Or a big white butterfly? I don't know. I think we can have fun with that one. I've still got this butterfly as well. Maybe that butterfly on there. And then that would give me a pink one on here to tie that in. What do you reckon? I can see I'm going to play. So that still leaves me with my white card. It still leaves me with some Misty Moonlight, some Magenta Madness and some Bermuda Bay. It still leaves me with a place for a sentiment and a couple of butterflies, and that's if I stick to this. I'm bound to sort of move it about a bit. So let's have a look at the cards. These are the 3 cards. I'm hoping that you can see them all. That one's probably a bit low for you to see. Let's have a look. There, and there. So now I'm going to put them together, but I'm going to add some little touches, I think, as I go. So I think let's do this one, because it's my favourite. Okay, so So I don't think we really need to do much else with this. I am going to cut this to the background. So on a normal A6 card, the piece that layers on top, I like to do 3 7/8. So there's a little sliver. I'm going to keep that because that might be some detail on something else. And it's 5 5/8 is what I standard do. There's another little sliver there. So if I put that on the front of the card, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'm actually going to take a little 1/8 of an inch off the side. So it's 5 1/2, not 5 5/8. So don't be afraid to cut your card and keep adjusting it. There's another little sliver there. I'm not going to get rid of that at the moment because I might use that as well. So that's going to go, yeah, that's better because it gives me a bit more of a equal border all the way round. So what did I cut this? 3 7/8 across that way, and then that way it was 5 1/2. Now, I don't think it needs anything else. It's got a lot of, what was I going to say? It's got a lot of pattern on the DSP that will make it lift. I do think that maybe I want to put a border on the DSP. So I'm going to get a bit of my white card that I've got, or maybe I could do it in a whitey colour. What about if we put a border of Bermuda Bay? Is that too much? Or Magenta Madness? Oh, that would be a really bright card. I don't know if that's me. I think that's quite nice. What does white look like? White's a bit boring, isn't it? But yeah, I'm going to go with Bermuda Bay. Okay, so how do I put a border on this? So I know that this is 1 1/2 by 3. So I'm going to go 1/8 higher. So it'll be 1 5/8. Okay, let's do that. 1 5/8 by 3 1/8. So I've just literally gone 1/8 more than the DSP. So when I put that on there now, I'll glue it in a moment. What do you think? I think that actually makes the butterflies pop. So I'm going to cut 2 more of those. So again, it was 1 5/8. So I'm going to do the next one as well, 1 5/8. Now, obviously, you make these cards your own. What I'm doing is sharing with you my thought process and how I come about making a card. But just having a play, I think you need to do that. Just get everything out and play. I was worried then that I'd cut that wrong. So these were 1 5/8 by 3 1/8. So I'm gonna stick those on now before I change my mind. I'm just gonna check the other side. No, I definitely want the butterflies up. So that's gonna go on there. And there's nothing else I want to add to these little panels. So that's definitely okay for me to glue it. I'm not going to change my mind on this. There's one. Put some Tombow glue if you want a bit of wiggle room, and if you prefer double-sided, use that. Okay. I've turned that round, didn't I? Did I? Oh my goodness me. Have all the butterflies going the same way. Right, and this one is the last one. And that's my panels. I still haven't stuck this background down yet. I'm still playing. I'm still undecided. Maybe I want to put a ribbon around it. Maybe I want to put a different piece of card. So, what have I done now? Oh, this is the one that doesn't match, isn't it? Two of them do. And two don't. That looks, it's like that butterfly's upside down. That's bothering me. Can you see that? That's what's throwing me. Although why it should, I've no idea. Okay, that's it. That one, and that one. Right, I think I'm happy with that. I think that goes really well, so that's going to go on. And now I'm going to do these. But I want to do something with this because I want this to make this pop. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some ink on it, Misty Moonlight ink. I don't want it as dark, but I do want it a different colour. So I'm going to use my blending brush. There is a YouTube video from me that shows you how to use your blending brushes. But basically I put some ink on my block and then put some ink on my sentiment panel in a circular movement. I start off really light and then get a bit firmer. Now that's an okay colour actually. I've just gone over it once. Where's my other sentiment? Do I want it a bit darker? I think I do. I'm going to do it a little bit darker. So I've still got ink on my block and I'm going to just do that a little bit darker, just around the edge. I'm not wasting doing it in the middle because no one's going to see that anyway. Just going round in a circle. And it's so easy to use these brushes, honestly. And I know it looks dirty, but it's clean. You can just look. Can you see there's nothing coming off? Okay. So I'm just going to get that out the way. Bring my card back in and start putting it all together. So this bit I am just going to stick straight on. Does that mean I've just got ink on my card? No, I was very lucky because I placed it on the block. Something I've done many a time before. And then the inside of the card has got ink all over it. Okay, so there's that. And what do I want to do next? I want to do these panels. But I want to do them with a bit of the Bermuda Bay behind. Have I got any? Not really, I've got a little bit. So what I was thinking was I could put some behind and that would just make them pop a bit more. Does that make sense? But there's not enough to go right across unless I cut it thinner or use bits of this. So I could put a bit there, put a bit there. As long as you can't see the join, who will know? Let's have a look. And actually, will it go right across with one join? Oh yeah, let's do that. So, trim it back over. So I need to know what width this is. I think it's 1 inch. Yeah. So I'm just going to cut one of these pieces to 1 inch, which is a tiny, tiny sliver. Not even that. Look, the thread. Okay, so let's put some glue. If I put that so I can get it sort of in the middle. So I'm going to put some glue there. And I'm going to put it there. Like so. And then this piece is going to join up, and I just need to cut a bit off there because I don't want it to overhang. That's a tiny, tiny sliver. That's going to go there. No one's going to see the join. Perfect. Okay. Hope this comes out okay now. So that will go there. That'll go there. I'm now going to put these on. Look, no join. You wouldn't know. Okay, so I'm going to line them up, and then I'm going to stick the middle one first. Okay, so that one's going to come over a bit, over a bit, over a bit. And I'm only putting glue on this bit because I want it to look like it's floating. Wiggle it, make sure it sticks okay. And I'm doing this bit. Luckily we don't see that little join there. Just about there. Happy with that. And this bit. And that's going to go there. Oh, I'm very happy with that. Now, this piece is going on here. So I'm just going to put some glue through the middle. That's going to go there. And just make sure that that's as central as you want it to be. And then my little sentiment here, let's stamp something. What could we have? Where's the stamp sets? Thinking of you with all my heart would fit really nice. Thank you. I think I might do a thank you. I like sending thank you cards. Is that going to be a bit lost on there? Let's have a look. I don't think it will. Lost my bin. Right, I'm just going to clean that because it's got some ink on it from the blending brush. Okay, is that? I think that's about perfect. Now I'm going to do magenta Misty Moonlight because it's the same as the background piece of card. And I'm really hoping and praying that I get it in the centre. Oh, that is nice. I love that font. That's really nice. Okay, so I am going to stick that on with dimensionals though, because I want that to be raised up a bit. So I'm just going to put one either end. Are you a stingy dimensional user or do you use loads? Depends what I'm sticking. If it's just a little sentiment like this, I don't put many because it's not holding much weight. Oh, I like that. Now, this butterfly, I would quite like to put that on the side. So I'm going to hold where the body is and bend the wing up. And I'm going to do the same the other side. Put my thumbnail by the body and bend the wing up. And what that does is it gives you a flat piece there that you can either glue or put a dimensional. Now I'm just going to put some glue on it because I want it to be at the side there. And I'm just going to hold that for a minute to make sure it's in place, but with the wings up so that I know they're not stuck. Okay, and that is my first card. And I'm rather pleased with it. Card 1. Okay, let's do card number 2. So back to this card. Just clear my space from the other bits, although I'm not going to throw them away in case I want to add them for some reason. Okay, so let's get back to this. So this one is going to go there. Now the panel, let's cut the panel like we did before because we already know the background is going to be 3 7/8. So 3 7/8. That leaves you with that. We decided 5.5 was better, didn't we? By 5.5. Now I want to do something different with this background. I don't want to just have a plain background, but I don't want it to be too strong. So what could I do? I've got lots of butterflies going on. How about if we stamped some flowers all over it? Yes, I know you're thinking, stamping flowers? How on earth are you going to see them? Well, that's fine. We're going to stamp it in exactly the same colour. So I've got Bermuda Bay card and I've got Bermuda Bay ink. You could stamp it in a different colour and see what comes up. So I'm going to get a block and I'm going to pick some of these flowers. Now they look like they're not clean. They are. It's just that once you've used red ink, it just stains it. But when you stamp, it's fine. I'll prove it in a minute. Yeah, I think, or is that flower too big? Maybe the smaller flower might be better. Or there's an even bigger flower. I think that might be too big. It would get lost. Or there's this different shape. So this is the Pretty Perennials. That's quite nice. Or I've just seen something on the front that I thought, oh, that's quite nice. It's just little blobs. It's like berries on a vine. That one. Maybe I could do that. Decisions. Oh, there's another berries one there. Oh, I'm going to use that actually. Oh, there's an even tinier one, so I might use both. So when I'm deciding what I do, or when I'm using a set, I put them on the front so I don't have to keep going hunting for them. And they're there. And then I'm going to use them to stamp all over this card. So this is Bermuda Bay, and I'm not worried about, just going to get a piece of scrap paper, because what I'm going to do is put my foam mat that I stamp on and put my Bermuda Bay on a piece of scrap paper, because I want to stamp off the edge, and if I just stamp on here it's just going to make a mess of my inks. So let me see, I've got my block, I've got my stamps, I've got my ink handy. Hopefully you can see all of those things. And I'm going to do the big one first. Always start with your biggest stamp. And can you see that? I'm just being completely random. I'm going to go off the edge a bit there. And you're just really making your own background. Now, like I say, you could use different colours. You could try that. Turn your stamp or turn your paper slightly so that your images are not all going the same way. I've got loads there and now I'm spacing them out because I just remembered I want to put the other stamp in there. And it doesn't matter if they're not all crisp. I think there's a gap there. Yep, happy with that. Now if I change that for the smaller one, okay, let's see what that looks like. I'm going to do it right in the middle because I'm not sure. Well, that's quite nice. It just sort of adds to it. You could just do leaves all over. This is a ridiculously big block for such a tiny stamp, but it was the one I had to hand. I'm just being careful not to get ink everywhere, because can you see it's picking up the ink on the edge? That's why you always use a a block that's as near to the size of your stamp as possible. I'm just going to turn that round so I can get a different view and see if it feels like I've missed anywhere. I might go a few off the edge. There and there. And I think I'm going to stop. Just going to check my stamp set again because I feel like I could do some leaves. Do you know what? I'm not. I'm going to stop there. So I'm going to move that out the way. Move my block out the way and this inking set. And now if I bring my card back in, let's have a look. So that's going to go there. Okay, let's have a look at this. Then my 4 colours, my 4 butterflies. Oh, I've lost the pattern now. No, that's there, I think. And that's nope. There, that's it. It's like a jigsaw. There. Okay. So yeah, quite like that. Do I need to layer these up? I think I do. I think I'm actually going to put them on some white this time, unless I do the opposite of what I did on the other card and do the blue, which actually I think I will. So to cover all of these, or to layer these squares, I'm going to cut this. I'm just going to cover that ink because I've got visions of me putting some card or something in. Let's just move that. So the squares are 1.5 by 1.5. So I need to do it at 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. So 1 4 5. 1 4 5. Okay, let's just double check that. Oh, sticking to me. So that's going to go there. That's going to go there. I do like that misty moonlight with the Bermuda Bay. So 2 more, 1 5/8. 1 5/8 by 1 5/8. And the same again. Okay, so that's those. Nice. Now my sentiment that I wanted to do was this one, wasn't it? And my butterflies, were they the white ones? I think they were. Well, I have got this really big yellow one. So how about if I put that in the middle? Oh, that looks quite nice. But then I haven't got a sentiment. Let me think. I've got this sentiment. Or maybe I could do the same and layer up again. That would look nice. Do it Bermuda Bay this time and just... Oh, and then I could colour the butterflies. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to do this the same as I did with the previous one. I'm going to use my blending brush to add a bit of colour, but this time it's going to be Bermuda Bay. So I just make sure I've got no blue left on there. Put it in the ink. So I just pressed it into the ink to pick up some colour, swished it around, and then just gently... Oh, this looks nice because it's picking up the detail around the frame. Oh, that is nice. I like this. So these brushes you get free for $11.75. So why do you need free? Wow, if you're a crafty, you could have one for each colour. How cool is that? So I've actually got one for blues, one for reds, one for greens. I'm slowly building my collection. I've just thought as well I was going to do the butterflies. Now where did I put those? There. What was I going to do? The butterflies exactly the same as I've done with this bit. So I've got some ink on here already, and I'm just going to colour the butterflies. Now I don't want them as dark as the Bermuda Bay card, because then that defeats the object. I might as well have just cut them out of Bermuda Bay. But I do want them to tie in. I need some more, I think. Oh, that's nice. That's really strong on there. I actually quite really like it strong in some places. I'm going to do that again. So dip it again. And then just brush it straight on. Do you know what as well? If you put these butterflies on the paper, that would be a nice background. Because can you see the stencil pattern? Oh, I do like a good play. God, I'm in a funny voice now. This is what you do to me, girls. Crafting along with Claire. Right, I love them. Look at those now. So let's bring that back and let's start putting it together. So I'm going to carefully slide those off because I know they're in the right order. Put some glue on here. Oh. And then we've come together to make two cards that I would love to receive. There's nothing quite like receiving a card, a handmade card from someone. It's like a bit of love in the post, isn't it? And who doesn't like getting post? Even if I'm not expecting post, I always look for the postman. And often I'm pleasantly surprised. It's not just bills. Okay, that one's going to go on there. Now I'm not sure whether I'm going to put those on with dimensionals or not. So we'll look at that next. I think I might put odd ones. If that makes sense, I'll show you. Sorry about that cough. Okay, now this one. Oh, sliding where it's wiggling. It's got its wiggle room, going a bit too wiggly. Okay, and this one. And I'm going to cough again. So I just grabbed some water, you know, and you can feel it's going to turn into a coughing fit because it's tickly. Okay, so that's there. Now, what I'd quite like is something here that's Misty Moonlight, so I might just put a border across. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Okay, my sentiment's going to go there and there, and then I'm going to have a butterfly here, and I might put a butterfly there actually on there. What do you reckon? I like it. Okay, I'm pleased with that one too. Isn't it nice to play? Right, let's stick the rest of it on. So I think that diagonal ones should have dimensions. So this one is going to have 2. That's going to be like, oh, so, and then that one's going to be just flat. There are no rules in card making. You make it up as you go along. And even if you're casing somebody else, you make it by your own by adding your own bits and pieces. Oh my goodness, it's cold. So this one has got dimensionals, and I'm putting it opposite there, and then this one's going to be flat again. Now you probably won't be able to see this on camera, but it actually looks really effective. I've not done that before and I'm liking it. Right, this, I'm just going to be clever, and I'm going to cut it at 3 7/8 because I know that that's what it is. Okay, and then that should fit exactly across there. Just about there, because I'm going to put a butterfly on it. And I think that's straight. That. Now, I'm just going to put a bit of glue behind each corner that's got the dimensionals on, because otherwise I'll be bending it flat. So there's a bit of glue there and there's a bit of glue there, and that's it. Now the sentiment I'm going to put on this one, I don't know, happy birthday I think would fit. Let's use that. Always nice to have a backup birthday card, isn't it? And I'm going to do this in Misty Moonlight, I think. Yeah. Okay, so there's my little block again. Oh, it's got the ink on. Let me wipe it off. So, happy birthday. Misty Moonlight, I said, didn't I? Okay. Which way round is it? Happy birthday. I don't feel like I'm going to get this straight. You know, when you're rushing. Oh, that was so lucky. Okay, perfect. I was very lucky there. A couple of dimensionals on that one. And that's going to go on there. That's really nice, actually. Okay, now these ones, I'm going to do the same as I did on the die cut one that's coloured. Just going to put a little bit of glue on the body here. Not too much. One is going to go here, sort of as though it's on the sentiment. And one is going to go on this blue stripe, just because I want it to stand out that it's there for a reason. Now if you've got little gems or something, you could put them on the body of the butterfly and that would really make that pop again. That's not stuck. So I'm just going to make sure that that has. And that's card number 2. I'm pleased with that one as well. Okay. So card 2. Oh, sorry, I knocked the camera now as well. Coughing, knocking the camera, whatever next. Right, this one I'm not loving. So I need to think what I can do to make me fall in love. I think it's the pink. Let's not have the pink. Maybe if we had a piece of white. White. Do we even need the white? I'm not sure we do. I feel like I want to frame this Does that make sense? It makes it stand out a bit more. But again, I'm not sure. We were thinking about using the butterfly as a stencil, weren't we? Have I got a butterfly left? Maybe that might be nice as a subtle pink background. Should we try that? We haven't got anything to lose, have we? So if I get my scrap paper again, I need to keep hold of that. Keep hold of that. So I've got the white piece and I'm using this butterfly as a stencil. Now I want to use magenta. So I really want to make sure I've got loads of colour off of this brush before I use it. And I need a new clean block. And I'm going to press that in just like that, and that's going to pick up loads of ink. Okay, now I don't want loads, I want it to be subtle. So I'm going to pick up a bit, and then I'm going to take some off. I'm going to hold it in place. And you're going to have to be really careful because the butterfly is going to move. So that's the butterfly there. Oh my goodness me, that pops. And I'm going to move it around, get some more ink, get it off again. Oh, this is nice. So I'm just carefully using the brush to highlight the butterfly. But what it's also doing is colouring the butterfly, which is really nice. Okay, that's the second one. Which way round now? Should we do one that way? Okay. Get some more ink. So you could do this with any of your die cut pieces, whether they're flowers or dragonflies or even shapes. If it's a die cut like this that's got holes through it, like the butterfly, it just makes the most amazing stencil. Okay, so there's that one. Wow. I feel like we need one here. Okay, now most of this is going to be covered up, which seems a shame actually. Take some off. Now I'm being careful when I come to the other butterflies, I'm not pressing hard. So there is some colour that's going over them, but not too much. Like so.
Okay.
And then there's this one. Is the last one. Did you hear Paul say, am I done? Of course I'm not done, I take so long. And this one. Now that's got a bit of a spot going on, so I'm just going to pick up some more. Do you know why that is? Because I didn't take some off at first. So behind this butterfly, it's going to be really dark. Wow, that is amazing. I actually think I just want to make a card with this. I might just do that. Okay, so last one. Oh, I've moved the butterfly in my excitement. Okay. And how lovely is that? That's amazing. Right, I feel like I'm going to let that dry for a second. And I'm actually going to get some blue. So I'm just being really messy, just getting a bit of blue to put on the body. gorgeous is that? Okay, stop playing. Move them out the way. Now I don't think this is going to go on my one sheet wonder card. Let me move this out the way and bring my card back, because that just looks so vibrant, doesn't it? But it would go on that side. How funny is that? The side that I didn't like. Okay, let's have a look at that. That looks amazing. But does that look amazing? No. Oh my goodness. That is so amazing, that colour. Right, I'm not going to use that. I'll make another card with that. What I am going to do is cut, is that about the right size square? Probably 2.5, let's see. So if I cut a square, that's 2 3/4. Let's try that. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Oh, that's better, or is it like that? I'm not sure that that adds anything to it. What do you think? Decisions. What about if it wasn't that, if it was that? Or actually, I've just had a better thought. Let's use some of that pink, because I've got plenty. What am I saving it for? 2 3/4. So if I get 3 by 3, I might cut it down a slight section. So if that was on there, I feel like this is my happy accident card. I love that. Okay, and this, I feel like that should maybe go there, or what about if we turn it that way? So it would be like that, and that comes out the side there. What do you think? Definitely think it's that way. So let's trim this. So I'm going to do it slightly bigger, because I want it to be most of the front of the card. So I'm doing it 4 by 5 5/8, because I don't want so much of a border like that. Yep, got inky fingers. Okay, let's see if we can stick that on. I love it. See what happens when you play? Paul came out because I was so quiet. Quiet because I was excitedly thinking about the butterfly. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to stick that white square on to the magenta madness. Not bad for a girl who doesn't do pink. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on that, because I want it to be raised up to show off my beautiful butterfly that's just been made out of nowhere. Okay, oh. So let's try and get that like that. That's probably central. And then this, oh, just got his antennae. Now I'm just going to put glue in the middle and hold him in place. Don't know why I'm saying him. Might be her. I love that. What can I stamp on that? I don't know. I feel like I need to put that, but I feel like it just needs a heart or something. Do you know what? I think that's what I might do. Or a tiny, tiny little sentiment that says for you, which I haven't got here, but I'm happy with that. So I'm going to stop there. Right, let me show you the 3 cards that we've made. Now, don't forget all the extra bits you've got, you can carry on playing. I've got loads here, loads and loads of bits and pieces. And some extra DSP as well. But let me just fold this card over so you can see it in its glory. These are my 3 cards. One, a happy accident from today's Crafty Makes. Wow. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing your makes. Don't forget to share them on the VIP group or just email me them. I love to see what everyone makes. Let me know if you have a happy accident too.